All right, we are rocking. What? Hi, Colleen. What's up, everybody? Wow, we got it rocking early. All right, here we go. So tonight we are making drawer pulls or pull knobs or cabinet knobs, whatever you want to call it. What's up, Jennifer? John, what's up? RW, how you doing? So yeah, we're making some cabinet knobs, pull knobs, whatever you want to call them. We're still working on some furniture. So we're redoing all the knobs on there. We're doing custom. We're going completely custom. Not doing any standard stuff tonight. Or for our furniture, for that matter. All right, so we're going to pull this down. We're going to start off with some chaos colors tonight. And this is the exact size that I need. Let me measure this out. Actually, it fits right about there. All right, we'll wing it. We'll wing it. All right, let's get this started. So yeah, we're going to be doing custom pull knobs or cabinet knobs, whatever you want to refer to them as. We are refurbishing our furniture, but I think it'll work for anybody's furniture. We just have to do them custom colors. And here we go. We're going to spin this up. First one we're doing tonight is the amber purple version. So we're going to make this look really chaotic. And let's grab our amber purple here. Here we go. So first side view of the night. There we go. So we got the little stripes running around. And there we go. Pop it back into normal view, and let's grab our amber purple. I just had that too. All right, there we go. Could be kind of crazy. This looks very clear. Okay, we're going to attach it here and go all the way around. We're putting a lot of color on here. I think this will look really good for the furniture because it's such a neutral color. It's got lots of colors bouncing through it, but it's very neutral too. So you're not stuck on one particular, theme of color. This can actually go with blue, it can go with amber, it can go with any wood that you have pretty much. I think the best one it would look good on is white though. The one we're using is like a light oak pine type of wood. There we go. And now we got all that color built on. We're going to do that chaos look, the finger painting. I think it's going to look the best for these, and Stephanie picked it out that way. So we got multiple colors running down. And we're going to go ahead and zoom it up with some spirals in here. Lots of chaos. And we're going to try a blue version tonight. So the first batch I'm doing is the amber purple. Then we're going to use the blue green. And then we're going to use an actual cobalt tubing and see what that looks like. There we go. So I'll temporarily show you what it looks like before we go too far. So there is the chaotic pattern versus that. So we're kind of mixing it all up. Boom, 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 boom. Let's get this all finished up. I'm going to try it with a smaller flame. I don't know if I need that big, gigantic flame for this one. And so we're just mixing it all up right now. We'll get to the knob pretty quick. They shouldn't take too long. These are about 10-minute projects max. So we should be able to get through quite a few of these tonight. All right, there we are. We got all the color built on. So now you can see it's all kind of zigzaggy everywhere. And the most important part is this right here. We don't have the full color yet, but you can see how it kind of zigzagged it everywhere. And next step, we're going to create the micro swirl at the top, although it won't matter because we're opening it up. Yeah, this really won't matter because we're going to be opening it anyway. And there we go. Okay, got that done. Let's go ahead and pop in the normal view. Actually, we'll go in close up for this because this is going to be a little tighter flame. And from a distance, you can't see that well. So we're going to be heating this part. This is the part that goes up against the drawer, the cabinet door, whatever you want to put it up against. These also will work on fan pulls. So if you got a ceiling fan with an ugly pull on it, these work really good. Or light switches. So if you got an old style light with a chain pull on it, this will go on there too. So they're very, very universal. And for the fan pulls, we can actually do the chain. I have all the chain here for that. I have it in silver and black. So we can definitely do that. All right, here we go. So we pulled this down a little. And the trick to the knob is you got to have enough room for it to be able to grab. Your fingers have to get back behind there to be able to pull on it. So we got to make sure we have enough space done. So we just heat it up, pull it down. There we go. And we should be able to get a lot done tonight. Well, they're not going to be long processes, about 10 minutes each. Roughly. I'll get faster as we go because I've only made like 10 of these. I'm going to lower my chair just a hair. There we go. My chair was too tall. All right, so next step, we're going to heat it up and blow it open. And then we're going to start popping the holes in there. All right, here we go. So first one we're doing is the amber purple color. It's a very neutral color. It'll go with anything. I consider it the tie-dye of glass. It literally has multiple colors going through it, but they're neutral. They will blend with anything. The next one's definitely going to be in the blue-green. And that one will be less neutral. All right, there we go. I'm going to bring this over. We're going to kind of use this marble mold. So this not only makes marbles, but you can also use it to kind of shape your objects that you need to shape. Like that. Get it super center balanced on there. And so far, so good. Let's bring it over and take a peek at it. I'll give you guys a sneaky peeky at it. There's our colors starting to come in. They're not all the way in there yet, but you can see we got a lot of chaos and a lot of fun going. Okay. And then after I get done with this, I'll show you some finished versions of it. And you guys can take a sneak peek at what we're kind of working on. None of them are going to have this pattern, though. None of them are going to be looking exactly like this. Ooh, that's pretty thick. I like it. I need to have it thick up front because it has hardware going into it, so can't be super fragile. And this is going to be an everyday item being used every day. So it's got to be super durable. The nice thing is they are compatible with outdoors. So you can have it range from 40 degrees below zero up to about 450 degrees outside. But I think if it's 450 degrees outside, your cabinet knob is the least of your worries. Unless you're on Venus. There we go. We have to focus on that hole. Let's pop it open. There we go. This is where got to be really careful. We got to get it precise. Wow, is that whistling? Hear it? Wow. Little side bonus. Josh, what's up? Thank you for that super chat, Josh. All right, let me make sure this fits. Yep. All right, so we developed the first opening in here. Oh man, I had the wrong camera view on. So there's the first hole for it, like that. And then the hardware is this right here. So it has to retain this little fitting that goes in. It has a nice clean end on it. And then there's our colors starting to come in. Like that. Okay, let's go back to a normal camera. We're going to preheat this, get that amber purple to come out a little. So let me show you what I briefly did there. So we changed the color based on the flame. You can see now it has that more of an ambery color bouncing through. A little bit of purple hue. Now keep your eye on it. We're going to change it one more time. We're going to change it one more. There we go. We let it cool off enough. Bring it back out, and then it cools down, and you can see it went even darker. So that is what I was referring to with a neutral color. All right, claw tool. Here we go. So now we just have to open the other end up. And so it'll fit the hardware. And I got to make sure my measurements are pretty good. So as I'm making these, you guys pick out your favorite one. Let me know what your favorite colors are tonight. This will definitely be one of mine right here. The amber purple is definitely on my list always. Okay, we need to bring this out here. Get this nice and finished off. So we have to open the hole up at the end here. This is called the pick method. So basically we're just picking the glass away in the center and making it thinner and thinner, and then eventually it will just crack open. It almost did by itself right there. So yeah, so we pull it really thin and we get that little spiky right there. Okay, and then we break that spike off and then the hole opens up. So we're going to do that right now. Going to snip it off. There we go. And bring it out. We're going to smooth it up. Okay, I think we're okay. Got to flatten it so it fits up against the cabinet really well. So we are refurbishing some furniture that we have, and we are using the cabinet pulls. And we're doing new ones. All right, so there is cabinet pull number 1. We'll bring it out here. You can see we got that beautiful color popping in, and there we go. So that'll go on the furniture like that. I love that color combo. It looks pretty sick right there. We're going to pop that in the kiln. So that is color option number 1. We're going to go with number 2 and make the other possibility, the blue-green. So this is kind of what it will look like when it's finished. We're going to have a lot of those chaos. Oh, you can see the uranium going. So there we go. Kind of chaotic like that. This is the marble we did the other day, but it is unsellable. It's got a big-ass crack in it. Right there. See that little crack in there? Unfortunately. It's really bright, too. But it makes a good chaos piece for display. And then the last cabinet knob I'll show you before we go further is this one. This is the gold nugget. I like this one, but Stephanie's not partial to it. That one right there. To me, that looks just kind of sick, amazing. But she's not partial to it. And that's okay. All right, let's make number 2. And then after this, we're going to use the Cobalt tubing, and we'll do it out of Cobalt. It's going to look sick. There we go. So this is a very blue-green color. Has sparkles to it. And we're going to use a little shimmer base with it as well. So it's going to shine and have a sparkle at the same time. Uh-oh. There we go. And we're going to pull this into a point. Yeah, the gold one is really cool. Is it a lightsaber? No. But I do have a lightsaber pen. We just got done making some lightsaber pens. I keep seeing all this chatter about a Uniball Zento pen. I guess it's like the newest rage in writing instruments. And I just ordered the refillable cartridge for it, and I'm going to make blown glass version of that. So we'll take the Zento pen cartridge and we'll use the glass and we'll make a modified Zento pen. All right, so next step is we're going to take this, we're going to preheat it. Then we're going to use the blue-green on this. Oh, I can't wait for this one. All right, so we got to thin this out just a little right here. Okay, so there we are. We got our blank glass. Just straight up blank. Nothing to it, just straight clear. And again, these are very weatherproof, so you don't have to worry about hot, cold, anything with them. They can withstand minus 40 degrees Fahrenheit and 450 outside easily. But as I said, if it's 450 degrees outside, I don't think your pull knobs are your biggest concern. All right, so we're adding the little shimmer color here. I love this part right there. That is a lot of fun. That never, ever, ever gets old. Okay, so now you can see we got it striped all the way around. So for this chaos, we're going to do it a little different. I'm not going to stripe it with the cobalt or the amber purple around. We're going to take the thin blue-green color. This is the blue-green. I don't know if you'll be able to see it all that well. Has that kind of little shiny version of it. But notice how dark it is. We're going to change all that up. We're going to come through here and just kind of blend all the way. This is the finger painting technique that I call it, because it reminds me so much of finger painting. And one more stripe over here of it. There we go. Back over. So you can see we kind of added that little color right there. That's the blue-green that you see appearing right there. All the way around. Now we're going to take some clear and mix all that up. I'll turn my fan up. It's hot today again. I don't know what's up with this weather. It keeps changing all the time. All right, here we go. So the next step is we're going to come through and we're going to start blending everything together. So we're going to take those two sides and bring them and pull them way over. Try and bring it all together. If you ever do a glass experience with me or you are ever in my studio doing this stuff, I promise this will be something you end up doing. Because you haven't lived in glass until you've done this. It's like one of the funnest things you could possibly do. Probably because you probably shouldn't be doing it technically. It's like the forbidden technique. Okay. Now we got all that melted on there. I'm going to show it to you before we get to shaping, just because it looks so wicked. So now you can see a little bit through the highlights, all the colors blending through. And here we go, 3, 2, 1. Look at that. Now this will have very, very blue-green effects to it. All right, let's get this front fixed up a little bit, and I hot dogged it. Right there. Okay, next step. We're going to put a puntee on and make it into awesome. That's a good puntee. So we got to get the shape right. I might try a couple different shapes tonight. Like the other day we did the mushroom version. So this is the mushroom pull knob. Now this one glows in the dark. That mushroom actually glows in the dark, which is kind of cool. All right, got to tighten this flame up a bit. There we go. And we're going to heat this up, stretch it out, pull it down. And this will be the part that is attached to the actual wood or metal, whatever cabinet you're putting it on, or fan pull, doesn't matter. But I like making glass that's functional, meaning it has a purpose to it. It's not just decoration. I like the decorative glass too, but I love it when it's functional. And we're almost there. Gonna puff it out a hair. There we go. I didn't want it getting too small as far as the diameter inside the tube. So you add a little pressure to it. Opens it back up. And just like that, we got ourselves a little pull spot right there. That's where the fingers will go. A little puff of air, just to straighten it out. And then we're going to take this and blow it open. Super easy too. It was 96. Oh, I don't know. I don't want 96. I don't want that kind of temp. No, thank you. I could do without the 96 degrees. I'm cool at like 80. But occasionally here, like a week out of the year, it'll get up to 100. And you'll probably hear the thundering fans rolling in here. Because I'll have like 6 fans going. All right, here we go. So we got it super melty here. Bring it out. Ooh. Oh, this one's going to look cool. I'm pretty okay with this. Question. Can you blend UV and glow in the dark? Yes, you sure can. I don't know why you'd want to, but yes, you can. The glow in the dark is just as strong as UV, if not stronger. My glow in the dark glass will outshine just about any UV color. It'd be kind of like a I don't know why you would want to, but yes, you can. It was 80s in Toledo. All right, here we go. So we got to open up this top portion. This will fit the hardware. So this has got to be open for the hardware. Gonna just bring it here. Sorry, I'm gonna be full of animation tonight, voice-wise. Yep, that's the glass whistling. That is definitely the glass. All right, let me make sure my hardware fits. Oh, barely. That barely's good. All right, you guys ready? Check out this reveal. 3, 2, 1. Look at that. Can you see all those blues and greens bouncing through there? Isn't that pretty? I love those blues, greens, and turquoise. So that's just basically one color with a base shimmer color. That's just one single color. Remember that dark color I showed you? That's it. All right, let's go ahead and break off the back end and get it all set for the hardware as well. I can't wait to show you guys the project when it's all done. It's going to be pretty damn cool. Okay, there we go. Let's grab this and get the rest of it finished off. And we're going to trim it down. We don't need it super long. Yeah, we're right on target. It's one of the hardest things to get used to in this type of business is eyeballing the size. We'll get pretty good at it. There we go. Oh, come on. You can do it. There we go. Much better. Burn that off. Tap, tap. Then we got to open up that hole so it can fit the hardware again. So this side only has to take the screw, the bolt. Doesn't need too much. In fact, I better grab a sample of that. So it just needs to be able to take that, and it fits that perfect. Going to bring it out here, and I'll show you the color off this as well. But we definitely have to make it flat so it goes against the cabinet flush. Yep, we're good. And I'll show you what that color looks like. I think this one's going to be a winner. I don't know which one Stephanie's going to like better, but there we got that blue-green color with the shimmer. Oh, that looks sexy. So that'll go up against a light wood. It'll go against dark wood too. I think that would be cool. I forgot I had beeswax there and it's dripping down my hand. All right, let's go ahead and do a Cobalt version of that. So we're going to, again, spiral and chaos on there. But we're going to use a Cobalt base. So we should be able to get some really cool colors bouncing off it. We'll do amber purple and shimmer on it as well. Although I am debating on doing green shimmer with amber purple. No, we'll stick with the silvery stuff. All right, so this is a little risky right here. This tubing does have a tendency to want to blow up. So we're going to bring it out. If it pops, oh well. I hate this stuff like this. I wish there was an easy way to preheat certain spots, but I don't have that luxury right now. Still, chance it's going to blow up. Until you start seeing me pull this point, there's always a chance it's going to pop. I think we're 90% safe right now. All right, we're all the way in the flame. There we go. So this flame I'm using right now is it's part of a torch series. So like my torch is called the Kabuki. And the Kabuki has 3 different torches built into one. It's got this one here, which is called the Lynx. And then it has the Phantom, which I'm going to kick on next. Phantom's a little bit bigger. And then the full Kabuki is a monster flame at the end. I got to put this someplace safe. There we go. So now we're going to kick on the second part of the flame, which is the Phantom. But I'm saying this for a reason. A lot of people ask about beginning starter torches. I always recommend the Lynx, which is the previous flame that I had. I don't have to use the Phantom on this. It just speeds it up a little. But technically, you can use the Lynx and do this entire project with ease. So if you are looking to get into glass blowing or you're curious about a beginner torch, I always recommend the Lynx, which is this flame right here. In fact, we'll finish the whole piece. We'll do the whole thing on the Lynx from here on out. We'll just go ahead and make it on the Lynx, so you guys can see how effective this torch is for a beginning torch. And it's not super expensive. It's like 500 bucks. And for torch equipment, that's not bad. It's actually not bad at all. This torch will last you a couple years minimum. And if you don't do anything super monstrous, it'll last even longer. It can be a lifetime torch if you want. All right, so we got the color spiraled on there for the first version. There we go. So we got first set of spirals running on. We're going to take our amber purple and stripe it all the way around. Do version number 2 here. Where's my amber purple? I hope I didn't put it down in the wrong spot. All right, I brought plenty of it out just for that reason. We got more of it right here. So this transparent clear rod is going to envelop a whole lot of color. This is going to be a color matrix. Let me get it a little thicker up here. And we'll thin it down right about here. Spin that baby on. I'm hoping I have enough up top there. I'm going to do a little extra on the top since we're doing the Cobalt. Not sure how effective this will be with just a little bit. We're going to put a little bit more on the top, go about halfway down. Right about there. All right, so now we got extra color running down. And we're going to do the same thing. We're going to spin it up. I'll show it to you on the side flame here. Damn it, I keep forgetting to change my flame. But at least you guys have the bottom view. All right, so there we are. We got all the colors spiraled around. And we're going to bring it out, and we're going to start creating that little bit of chaos here. Man, I'm buzzing through this rod like crazy too. So again, we're going to do the whole thing on the links. This is one of the beginning starter torches I highly, highly, highly recommend. And we got to get this really mixed in because the blue is going to overpower it if we're not careful. So I'll do about half of it, and then I'll bring it over and show you the half that's done and the half that's not, the difference between the two. I'm really excited to see what it looks like on the blue. I think this may be a really cool combo for a knob. And one more little bit here. So if you're into refinishing furniture or you just want a custom look, this is definitely the item to go for. So there we are, we got it blended there, and then there are the circles running around, the blend and the circle. We'll bring this back out. There we go. So that is the blend versus the circle. You can see the colors popping there. So that's the blend and circle. We're going to go ahead and finish this up. Yeah, this is going to be wicked. Wicked cool. There we go. I think the fun in this is making all the colors. All right, we're all the way around. Let's clean up this top. Like that. So now we got it fully encased everywhere. Okay, we got all those colors running all over the place. And this is the only drawback from it, from using the Cobalt. So as I go to make this, I can't see through the glass. So I can't see the hole in the middle. I kind of have to guess. Kind of have to guess how much it's shrinking and how big it is inside there. You can do a visual check through the tube, but that is the only drawback of using a color like this. It's very hard to visually see how big the opening on the inside is. Other than that, it's perfect. Okay, so we're going to start blending here. In order to keep it safe, I'm going to heat it up. We're going to push a little air into it, blow it open, and then shrink it back down. We're going to take it here. Then after this, I think we'll try a mushroom version, a cool one. All right, so there we are. We blew it open a little. And now I feel pretty confident in the approach to shrinking it down. And here we go. Yeah, I have no visual how thick it is in there. None. But you can do a little spot check like that. So the drawback would be to collapse it too far and then the hardware doesn't fit through. So that's why you have to be careful. Not really much you can do if you mess it up. Go ahead and remove this little top up here. And then we're going to open it up. Again, this is a great starter torch, this particular flame. You can do a hell of a lot with it. You can even expand it a little further like that, get a little bigger. We're going to melt everything in. It's a little off on thickness. Unfortunately, with the colored tubing, they don't ever get the thickness exact like the clear. They're not as precise. They're close, but not perfect. So when you start doing stuff like this, it can be a little wobbly. And if it is, this is where you use the marble mold here. You just come in and shape it out. You can even use the side one. And then that helps get it round again, even if you have an uneven wall thickness. All right, we're good. Let's pop the top. I'm excited to see this one. Oh, she's pretty thick up there. I have to give it a little puff of air. So all that's doing is expanding the top out a little bit. It's not punching a hole through. I don't want to punch a hole through that yet. Bring it here. All right, we got that little nipple built there. So we'll take it here and pinch it off. Little whistle. Do our fitting here. Okay, we're good. All right, let's check our color. 3, 2, 1. Oh my God. Yeah, that definitely has that oceany look to it. That amber purple's popping on there. Look at that galaxy swirl payoff. Looks like a galaxy. Now we're going to go ahead and do the same thing. We're going to get that amber purple heated up a little. Bring it back over, and then the color's going to change a little. 3, 2, 1. There we go. You can see it like that. Yeah, look at all those colors bouncing through there. One more time. Just one more time. So the more you cool heat, cool heat, cool heat, it changes the color. And this will be the last time and then we'll finish it off. You can see we got a little bit more color transferring through there now. There's the side. I like it. I bet you Stephanie may go for this one. I don't know. Then we pull off the back end and make it so the hardware fits in there as well. And then next we're going to do a mushroom. We're going to make a mushroom. How do you bid? You don't have to bid. You can just message us. Just message me. You can certainly purchase it. All right, this one's a bit long. We do have to trim it down a little. Got it a bit long. It's a bit long. So yeah, this will work great as a cabinet knob, drawer pull, ceiling fan tool. Actually, it'll look really good as a ceiling fan tool. Or if you have an old lamp that has a pull chain, that works too. Or if you're really old school and you have a toilet with a pull chain, there you go. I don't even know if those still exist. But I remember my grandma had this toilet with a tank up top, and it was a pull chain. It had this big tank up top. It was like a pull chain toilet. I thought it was the coolest thing on the planet when I was younger. I know, kind of weird to get excited about a toilet, but. All right, it opened up on its own. Didn't have to do anything exotic there. That's going to fit the screw hardware perfect. Oh, yeah. Then we just have to flatten it out. Make sure it's centered too. Don't need it wobbling. I forgot this. I keep forgetting to change the camera. But look at all those colors now. Woo! She's looking pretty. And there's the front. I'll hold it this way. I don't want to use the brass tool again because it kind of was messing me up. There we go. Look at that. Wouldn't that look cool on your cabinet? Kitchen cabinet, your fan cool, your light. Back of the bus for you. All right, let's make a mushroom. So we're going to make the mushroom version of this. Let me show you the mushroom temporarily. So this is the glow in the dark mushroom. So we got the little red like that, the polka dot. I'm going to change up the color, but look at that. So there's the glow in the dark. So it'll glow in the dark too. Has that little glowy section in there with the spiral. This one's another glow. So this one also glows. That's a super intense glow pull knob. That one's wicked. But this one we're going to do, I may put some uranium in this. We have this uranium rod from last night. This little spiral stuff. I don't know. We may try some dots with it. So there's a version, and then there's the uranium. So there's the uranium glow, and then there's the daylight. And there's uranium. We're going to add that in there for sure. We'll put some uranium in there. Got to snip this right, though. I definitely have to get a new cutter. Or a new blade. So yeah, we'll make the mushroom now. So if you ever wanted to have mushrooms growing off your pull knob, this is it. Any kitchen cabinets. It would look really good on a ceiling fan. Imagine having a mushroom coming off your ceiling fan chain. That'd be bad. That would be bod. Lure you to the snacks like a moth to the lamp. There you go. Yeah. All right, there we are. I got to keep this separate from the Cobalt there. There we go. And here we go. So we're going to preheat it. I think I'm going to silver fume this too. So we're going to give it some opalescent color here. We're going to add some silver to it. So here we are. This is it before we do any color to it. We're just our straight up clear glass like that. We got a little bit of silver on here. We're going to go up close. This is definitely going to pop. That's cracking a little bit. Oh, there it goes. That's okay though. I need it to because the silver is right there. There we go. Now we got the silver going on. See that little dust of smoke right there? So we basically just added silver onto the glass. Like this. So the silver created that kind of brownish effect, the yellow brown right there. Now I'm going to leave it on side view for just a minute. We're going to polish the silver out with the flame. And it should get kind of like silver plated. It should look kind of chromy here in a second. There we are. See, now we got that really shiny effect to it. Now I'm not leaving that on there. I don't want that shiny effect. There we go. So that's what silver does to the glass. I don't know where that went. That's okay though. So the first thing I'm going to do is pull the mushroom stem down. So we're going to start off with the mushroom stem, and then we'll make the top. I want to make the stem very transparent with a little bit of that silver showing. So we're going to pull this section right here. And if I do it correctly, we should have an iridescence through it. I don't want to burn too much of it off though. We are going to come back here, seal that down a little. All right, so there's our little base point right there. Going to bring it way out in the middle of the flame up here. We're going to go to the cooler part of the flame, which is way up here. Pull it way down. And then we're going to burn it off, and then we can decorate the mushroom top. But before we go there, you'll see a little bit on the side here. Looks kind of dull, but once the light hits it when it cools off, you get that kind of fuzzy look to it like that. All right, let's do the mushroom top. Coil this all the way around. So this has the uranium glass in it. Right about there. So you can see we added the coil up there all the way around. We're going to blend all that in, and then we're going to decorate it some more. But I just want to get this all melted in. It's going to look a little wonky at first, but we'll get it. Just going to get it a little bit melted in here, fully blended. And just like that, we're going to pop it out a little. About like that. All right, we're good. Let's find some color. We're just going to go full on double amber purple on this guy. Lots of dots all the way around. We got a good view? Yeah. So it'll have the base uranium underneath it. Okay, we got one ring done. Let's go and get the rest of them done. Don't need a giant flame for that. I don't know why I put a center dot on there because we're going to be burning through it anyway. But now you can see we got all these little micro dots running on. Like that. We got the underlayment right there. We got dots. We're going to blend all those in. We're going to get them all blended. We're going to do that now. So we just have to heat it up. It'll shrink down. All those dots will blend, and we'll pop it back out with the flame and the air. But most importantly, we got to blend it in. No textures. Although technically you could leave it textured. Maybe we'll do a textured one afterwards. There we are. Thank you for the rose and the fingers. Appreciate it. All right, so we definitely have to pop this open just a little bit further. So this will definitely be the mushroom. And I think we're looking good here. So I'm going to bring it out here. You can see that mushroom shape starting to form right there, but it's not quite a mushroom yet. So we have to heat underneath here. And we're going to get the mushroom cap to kind of fold down. So we want to heat under here. Hey, thank you for the dragon crowns. So we got to heat under here. Thank you very much. Appreciate all those dragon crowns. Thanks for hitting the live goal. I appreciate that. Big shout out to Kevo there. Okay, so again, we're going to come in and we're going to heat underneath, and we're going to let that mushroom cap shrink down. I'm going to leave it on the side view, so pay attention to this area where kind of where my finger is. So we're going to come down here and we're going to heat. Look at where I'm heating the flame. And there we go. And then small puff of air, small. And now we have a mushroom. See how it changed the cap look right there? Thank you for the hand hearts. Red Squeak, thank you, Kevo. Thank you all. Look at that. And then there's our color starting to blend in. So yeah, we're getting that mushroom look now. Go ahead and pop it back out here. I got to make sure it's nice and straight. All right, next step, we got to open it up. Now I made this super thick, so it's going to be a little hard to pop it open in the center. But this is going to be a kick butt pull knob. Definitely going to look amazing. Debating on adding some gold to it. Like on the stem, I'm really debating on adding gold. What do you guys think? Should we do gold? Should we put gold on the stem? You guys vote. Tell me gold or no gold. You guys can open it up. Let me know. All right, there we are. We got that kind of hump going now. I couldn't do gold veins right now. It's too late to do that. Yeah, it's too late to add the gold veins to it. I've already built the stem out, so that would be, I can only color it a little bit. I can't add any texture to it. Let's open it up. I wonder if this one's going to whistle. Not sure if this one's going to whistle or not. I hope it does, kind of. So far, we have a 3 out of 3 for the whistle. No! No whistle. Damn it. Ooh, man, that's hot. All right, it fits. All right, you guys want to see the top before we do anything? Let's check it out. You can already tell it looks kind of cool. 3, 2, 1. Ooh! All right, I think the gold will look good on the bottom. I'm going to have to warm it up a little, though. Thank you for all the gifts. I appreciate them. All right, let's do the gold. So gold refers to gold fuming. So the gold vaporizes in the flame and it transfers to the glass via the flame. So there's a tiny little bit of gold on this glass rod here. And just like the silver, it uses the flame as a conduit and it changes. And we're going to get that done right now. Oh, good call, you guys. Good call. There we go. Look at that. Ooh. That definitely popped it out way better. Look how beautiful that is now. We got the purple popping up there. Yeah, that gold definitely punched out the color. I like it. Yeah, that looks amazing. It took twice as long to make this one, but that's worth it. I want to kind of get custom with these, like put an octopus on it. Like make one with an octopus. We might be able to do that. What do you think? Should we try an octopus on the end? Should we do an octopus? What do y'all think? I think an octopus would be kind of cool. All right, we're going to bring it down. I love this one. Let me let it cool off for a second. Make sure that hardware fits. Yeah. You know what? I've got smaller versions of this here somewhere. Or I don't. That guy looks freaking cool. Yeah, I love this guy. There we are. Oop. It's drippy, drippy. That looks freaking cool. All right, before we go too far, I know I got small pliers. Oh, there we go. That's what I was looking for, these guys. All right, octopus. I think we should do... What color octopus should we do? I don't know. What color octopus? Because I have to make the fitting, the stringers for it. I was thinking the green. Oh, the glasses are about 300. Yeah, the glasses are about $300. They do this. Since you got, I'll let you guys start voting on their green. I like the green. So I'm going to bring this out. We're going to let it shatter a little. All right, so you can see how bright that flame is. This is what my glasses do. So that's how my glasses react to the flame. Allows you to see inside. And on a smaller flame, you can see like that. So that's the difference between glasses and no glasses. But yeah, these are about $300. They're not cheap, but they're not the most expensive either. I have a set of Meta Ray-Bans that I had custom made. And they were a little more money. They were like $500 to have completed. All right, let me pop this on here real quick. So what did we come up with? Orange? I don't have orange up here. I've got green. Amber purple might look good. I've got uranium, amber purple, green. I do have yellow. And then I've got that really kind of funky caramel color. And then we got black, definitely dark cobalt. Purple wouldn't look very good on it. Yeah, unfortunately on the metas, it's only a 3-minute window for streaming. Magenta, I don't have a magenta up here right now. Yeah, I don't have magenta. I do have the shimmer green though. This would look really good. That one would be a good color for the octopus. And yellow would be okay too. Yellow would definitely stick out. So there's our yellow. So yellow would definitely work. And then we have a different green, which is this one here. This is a little different green. You can see they're pretty close to each other, but one has a shimmer and one doesn't. Yeah, the shimmer green would look really fantastic. In fact, we can do it. I have a good idea for it. Yeah. I don't think this is uranium. Nope. We're going to do a little hybrid here. I know I have uranium up here. There it is. I want to use the uranium. But uranium's too light, so we're going to do a hybrid. So we're going to take the uranium. We're going to park on a holding rod. We're going to stripe the green over the uranium, and it'll have a light green shimmer uranium look to it. Yeah, let's grab our uranium, our shimmer color here. Hold on one second. I have another idea too. Yeah, we're going that route. So this will be uranium green on top of the shimmer. This will show up really good. This will make a kick butt octopus here. So we're going to completely encase this in This will be a fun little piece. I think the octopus is going to look good. So we have to do an ocean type coloring too. All right, so we got that there. Let's pull it down a little. So in order to do the octopus, we have to make this super, super thin. So we're going to pull this all really, really thin. Nothing like a uranium cabinet knob. Or the fan pull. This would be a really fun fan pull right here. Yeah, that's going to work. Now it's going to look a little olive color right now. But when we get done, the color is going to definitely be, you can see kind of that greenish color coming through, but it'll have that shiny shimmer. But we definitely have to make a exotic color on the whole piece. I think we'll do the amber purple color. So this is the amber purple. For the cabinet knob, we'll do that. So we'll encase the whole thing in amber purple, give it that color, and then put the octopus on top of that. I think it'll be a kind of oceany look to it. Definitely going to be exotic. So we have to coat the whole thing in amber purple. And here we go. And there we go. All right, let's get this guy built up. We're going to trim off a little bit of this top. A little too thick right there. There we go. And let's grab, I should have plenty of amber purple up here. Let me find it right here. So this is what the color looks like before we do anything. All clear, but you can see that kind of ambery color that it's hitting right there. But in the beginning, it looks very, very clear. Now we just have to coat it all the way around here. Won't take that long. But as you can see, it doesn't look like much in the beginning. It just looks very transparent, just like the clear, but the color will come out. Got to let it cool for a second. Otherwise it starts warping the tube too much. Getting a little hot here. But that should be completely coated now. So now we got color amongst the whole thing here, which is good. We're going to heat the whole thing up. We're going to blow it out a little bit. All right. Let's go ahead and get it starting to shape out here. So we're going to heat it up. I'm going to twist it around a little. I don't want those straight lines everywhere. So we're going to give it a little bit of a spiral. This will be one of the coolest cabinet knobs. All right, let's refine this little area here. Sorry, this flame needs to be a little tighter. There we are. I'm going to make it pretty thin in this area because I want the octopus being focused. Again, we don't see any color yet, but I promise you it'll be there. We're going to spin this top up a little. All right. So I'm going to show you before we go any further, very, very transparent right now. Okay, not a lot of color to it, but that is going to drastically change. You can see a little bit of the striping in there, but we're going to change I promise you this will not look anything like it does right now. This thing's going to get wicked cool. And then we'll put an octopus on it. The only thing I have to be careful of is we have to put the center hole in there, and then I got to build the octopus around that hole because it can't cover it up. So we're going to bring this down and get it really, really thick. A little bit more. The amber purple's starting to strike on the stem. All right, now we're looking good. Get a little bit smaller. We're going to shrink it down just a touch, get it thicker, just a little bit. All right, so we got to pop the center hole in there first, and then we will worry about the rest. Let's get that center hole built. Then we'll build the octopus around this whole section here. There we go. Little whistle. I just got to make sure that fitting will accept the hardware. Yep, it fits. All right, so we're going to bring it out. You can see the amber purple starting to hit that middle section. But there's our color so far. Okay, now it's going to get super intense on this. There's our front. All right, let's build the octopus. Okay, we got to check out make sure the opening is good enough still. I think I closed it off a little bit. Let's double check it, make sure the opening's good. Nope, got to open it. That's what I was afraid of. There we go. It sucked to go all the way through that work and then have it not work. Okay, we're going to polish all that in. Let's go ahead and build the octopus head real quick. Okay, we need some black. Do I have it up here? Nope, you're the dark blue green. You are the color I was looking for. We gotta give it some eyeballs here. So far we got it. Got all that green running around there. We got the little octopus eyes going. It's just this really shiny version on here. I like it. I think it looks good. Get it really blended in there. And then we're going to go ahead and pull it off. Make sure that's blended. And we got to trim it way down. This will look cool on someone's cabinet, light pool. This would look really cool. I'm going to be super happy with this. I can't wait for it to cool off. . Okay, I think we're good there. Make sure it fits the screw. Oh yeah. So I'm going to show it to you from the side here, so you can kind of get that amber purple look to it, like that. And then we'll do a frontal view. Like this. Now you can see the colors starting to pop out. Yeah, it definitely has a wicked cool look to it. And then it'll glow super bright under the black light. It's definitely going to have that black light look to it. Okay, I got to pull this off a little. Gonna have to trim it down. Yeah, that one looks good. What's up, Betty? How are you? Janae, thank you. North Carolina, what's up? Yeah, I can't wait to see it under black light. That's when it's going to really do its thing. Now, I ended up preheating some of that amber purple in there, that big amber purple chunk. We're going to use that, and I'm going to show you how to do a tube blowout. So we're going to attach solid to a tube. Actually, we'll just coil pot it on. And we're going to make a full amber purple by itself. We'll do a tube blowout. Okay, we got that off. So I got to pull this down a little. Nope, that's amber purple. We don't want to use that as a punty. So we're going to have to set it up properly to get the proper tube pull out. We'll heat this up. We'll kind of pull it into a little bit of an ice cream cone shape, but I want to thicken it up a little. All right, there we are. We're going to pull it into that little bit of a cone shape here. Then we open it up. A piece of glass on my hand. So we open that up. This next technique I'm doing it's really old school. going to be a very, very old school trick to it. All right, so we have to park this in the kiln. And then we have this here. This is all solid rod. So we're going to take the solid rod and turn it to a tube. We're going to make this into a full-blown tube. Now I can use my amber purple as a punty. So there's one method called a coil pot, where you wrap it around like a pottery, like you're making a pottery object with the little skinny, like thin coils of pottery. And you wrap it around kind of like a beehive. That's one method. This method is a blowout. So we got to bunch it up into a ball. Got to get it bunched up here. Now that darker color is going to disappear. It's going to go back to kind of like a clear, transparent look, which is very normal. So there we are. We bunched it up right there. I got to finish the other end. We're going to make it, bring this into the ball shape. I just use this as a holding rod to kind of help guide it. We're going to go ahead and burn it off. We're going to kind of shrink it down back into a ball shape. This will be a fun pull knob too, or a ceiling light fan, pull, whatever you want to call it. You can use it for whatever. Yeah, straighten it out a little bit. All right, so now it's all solid, kind of like a little bit of an oblong shape. We're going to heat up right in the center. And we basically pushed in a little chamber right there. So we took that solid ball, we pushed it into a chamber right there. You can see it definitely opened up like that. And then we're going to attach it to that tube, and that'll start the process of being able to blow it out. We push it on right there. Now we got it added to a tube. We're going to blend it in a little bit. This is an old school method. Basically, before there was a lot of colored tubing available, this was one of the methods for making colored tubing. You could do it on a small scale like this, or you could do it on a gigantic scale. Make a big old ball of color, put a little indent in there, and then you just continue to heat it up and then blow it out a little. like that. A little bit more. There we go. We got the tubing started. Got a little thin right there. Gonna have to shrink it down or it will crack. All right, so I got a good seal right there. We're gonna go ahead and separate it here. We're gonna heat up this section and force the air to go out that way. We're gonna force it to the front. Hence creating our own tube. So we'll blow it open, shrink it down. A little bit more and this will be ready to go. But basically now we have an entire tube of one solid color. I don't have any extra clear in here. Just a hair more and we should be good to go. Now you can see we opened it up into a full tube. So it's all hollow in there now. So we went from the solid to a tube. Now we can just spend some time shaping it and we'll make it into the pull knot. Now we'll go pretty fast. Now it'll be a faster process. Now it won't take long. So we're going to create the little back end first. But the nice thing about this method is we'll get some really intense color coming through here because it is all solid color. Should be fairly intense. There we go. Got to work it a little bit more in this back end. All right, we're perfect. Now we'll separate it here and we'll blow it out. And create the knob. This will definitely be a very exclusive one. Because there's a lot of color in here. All right, let's get it blown out. No, my hands don't hurt. No, you get very used to it. It's like anything. Any job that you have a repetitive motion, you get pretty used to. It's like I look at servers at restaurants and they're always up all day holding those trays. I couldn't imagine doing that all day, but they're very used to it. So your body adjusts to everything. So no, my hands don't get sore like that, nor do my shoulders or anything else. It's just like any job. All right, we got a nice little section here. We're gonna let it cool for a minute and then we're gonna pop the center hole. I can't wait to show you the color. I'm hoping I can get it to strike just a little bit. Got to be careful here. Boy, they are whistling tonight, aren't they? Let's do a test fit. Nope, not there yet. Perfect. All right, let's bring it to the side. We can get a little glimpse at it so far. So there it is in the solid. You can see we got these cut. Now, this isn't even close to the color of what it's going to do. We're not even there yet. We're going to let it cool for a second. Then we're going to come back and hit it again. I'm going to leave it on the side for a minute. So we're going to leave it on side view so we can show the color transformation. So we just hit it with the flame again. You can see it went dark, right? There's our purple starting to show up. Like that. Total change, right? And here we go again. And there we go. So now we just have to get that bottom section to match that. But what a pretty color combo, right? I told you it'd look amazing. Yeah, this is definitely on the hot spot color right there. Then we pull this little tube off. Don't need it anymore. And we need to grab us some clearing rod. It's going to get loud. I apologize. But this particular color loves a lot of oxygen. Perfect. Remember the back side was very yellow? Now look at it. Isn't that intense as hell? So now you can see all the different colors running through it. We'll go ahead and pop it on a small tweezer here. If I could find my small tweezers, I just had them. My bench is a mess again. Oh, there they are. So here we go. That is so freaking wicked for a pull knob, right? And it just gets better and better. But that's what I was saying. That color is going to be amazing when it pops finally. I'm going to put that way in the back of the kiln because that makes it way better. So the longer it sits and the further in back in the kiln it sits, it's better. All right, so I want to show some of the items we did. I'm going to leave it on side cam. So last night we did a couple of the hummingbird flowers. This was one of them we did. Remember this one right here? So we got the really cool colors bouncing through it. And there's that same color right there. That's the double amber purple on there. And then the bird is uranium. So you can see it's totally glowing. And then there we go. So this is the hanging hummingbird flower. This one, I don't know if anybody messaged last night. It is available if you have or haven't. And then this one I'm really happy with. So we got those really, remember we did the lime green and the uranium wings? And we got those colors. And then boom, there's the uranium. So we got the little light uranium wings going. But yeah, that one's super intense as well. So I am very happy with that from last night. Yeah, the wings came out really good. All right, I need to take a break for a little bit. It has been a couple hours. So let me take a break. It's only 9 o'clock. I might be back tonight. We'll see how things are going in the house. And then you might see me tonight. We'll see how it goes. But thank you for hanging with me. Thank you for all the gifts. I appreciate it, for the contributions. If you haven't subscribed, please do me a favor and hit subscription and follow on TikTok, subscribe on YouTube. I would greatly appreciate it. And thank you very much, y'all.